So this is the Satyr Smash deck. This is a lot of fun. It's a fast deck, or can be. You're trying to overwhelm the board with Satyrs and use Lords to make them big. So first start is 4 Satyrs Cunnings. It's a great card. Um, it's not a great card, but I mean, turn 1, boom, you get a 1/1 out. And later on, if you're losing cards, getting cards put in the bin, you can play it again. We run 1 Shock. I'm not sold that we need this. We might consider swapping it out for something else, but right now, we have the 1 just in case. Got the 4 Careless Celebrants. Great one, and especially when it dies, it deals 2 damage to target creature or planeswalker an opponent controls, and it's a 2/1 Satyr. Domri's Ambush. This is our big removal, and it's solid. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control, then that creature deals damage equal to its power to target creature or planeswalker you don't control. It's not a fight, it's a punch. And so that makes it even stronger. Plus that counter. The counter helps buff up things that don't buff themselves, like the next card we're about to look at. And it's all for just 1 red and 1 green. Also for 1 red and 1 green is the centerpiece of this deck, Gallia of the Endless Dance. 1 red, 1 green. Legendary creature Satyr. She's a 2/2. She has haste, and also other Satyrs you control get +1/+1 and have haste. Also, I don't do this all the time because sometimes I've got good cards in hand and I don't want to lose them, but whenever you attack with 3 or more creatures, you may discard a card at random. If you do, draw 2 cards, and you attack with 3 or more creatures a lot with this deck. That's what you want to be doing. The only non-Satyr in the deck is Annex, and he's there because he makes Satyrs. He's awesome. A demigod that makes you Satyrs and gets bigger when you play more red cards. Fantastic card. 4 Irreverent Revelers. Solid card, as you saw in our earlier play when we were up against the cat deck. Play it on turn 3, destroy the Witch's Oven. Big fan. And when you have Gallia out, you can destroy an artifact and still give it haste. Because Gallia gives it haste. Otherwise, you can either destroy target artifact or give haste. Either way, great card. The Stampede Rider. At the beginning of each combat, if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn. That's a solid thing, and it happens on both combats. So, it's useful. It's a useful little card. Icon of Ancestry. This is our other Lord effect. Gives creatures you control the chosen type +1/+1. You will always choose Satyr. But you can also, if you get into a deep game, and we don't very often, but if we do, 3 tap, look at the top 3 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature card of the chosen type from among them, put it into your hand, put the rest in the bottom of your library in a random order. Great card. I'm a big fan of Icon of Ancestry. 3 Heroes of the Revel. Now, I'm not as huge a fan on this. The reason being is 5 mana in a deck like this isn't always one we want. Sometimes we will side this out because we want to go faster. But, and I would even consider maybe going down to 2 of these. But still, something that makes a 1/1 Satyr, which if you've got a Lord out, immediately becomes a 2/2. Plus, when if you cast a spell that targets it, which we have Domri's Ambush, so that would give all creatures you control +1/+1 until end of turn. So, that's useful, but like I said, 5 mana is a lot for this. And then the other thing is 2 Embercleaves to finish things off. And with this deck, you're usually casting Embercleave for 2 or 3 mana tops. On top of that, we got Castle Embereth. You saw us win a game because Castle Embereth buffed everybody up. And great card. 8 mountains, 5 forests, 4 stomping grounds, 2 Temples of Abandon. Because I don't want much in the way of tapped lands. Castle Embereth can be a tapped land, as you saw in the one game it was, so we couldn't play our Satyr's Cunning, but most of the time you hopefully already have that mountain or stomping ground out, so you don't have to worry about it. So, yeah, in total, you're running 23 lands, and for this mana base, or this curve, it's strong. It works quite well. Our sideboard, 1 Mystic Repeal and 2 Wilts to deal with enchantments. Wilt also deals with artifacts. 1 Chandra's Pyrohelix, a Fry, 3 Lava Coils, 3 Unchained Berserkers for dealing. These are for dealing with white. 2 Tybalts to keep your opponent from gaining life, and if your opponent's doing a better job at getting creatures under the board, then go Storm's Wrath. I'd also consider Flame Sweep. And Flame Sweep might be the better choice, considering that a lot of the time, if you've got at least 1 Lord out, Flame Sweep will miss most of your Satyrs, except Gallia, unless you have an icon out. Whereas Storm's Wrath is going to hit almost all your Satyrs. That's more there because you feel like they're the ones getting ahead. They're the ones getting the bigger board. I wouldn't use it very often. And that is Satyr Smashy Smashy. This deck's a lot of fun. And as you saw, it can go very quickly.